Time now for ABC4's Bowl Game Preview Special.
Tonight on this special bowl game preview, BYU and Utah State, two teams that reached 10 wins this year and are kicking off the bowl season in style. The Cougars will try to improve their number 13 national ranking and cement its legacy in BYU history. But did they deserve better than a showdown against UAB in the Independence Bowl? What a turnaround Blake Anderson has engineered in Logan, from just one win a year ago to Mountain West champs, and now a shot at Oregon State in the LA Bowl. We'll preview both bowl games and take a look back at what has been two truly special seasons. It's time to go bowling on this special edition of Real Sports Live, and it starts right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to our pregame bowl special. I'm Wesley Ruff. This is Danny Green, and for the next half hour, we're going to be talking BYU, UAB in the Independence Bowl, and Utah State, Oregon State in the LA Bowl.
But let's start with the Cougars, shall we? Obviously, BYU was hoping to get into a New Year's Six Bowl, but you know what? They still have plenty of motivation as they try to achieve back-to-back 11-win seasons. After a 10-2 season and a number 13 national ranking, BYU was hoping for something bigger than the Independence Bowl.
Honestly, I had some high hopes for a New Year's Six Bowl. I knew it would be a stretch, but I was really hoping to get in.
I think everyone knew really our chances on going to a New Year's Six pretty slim. And so, always hopeful, but excited to play in the Independence Bowl.
Everybody on this team kind of feels slighted a little bit by the bowl selection committee, and so I think really that's the number one source of motivation, is to go out and finish strong and show teams that we deserve to be up there.
Another source of motivation is the chance to cement its place in BYU history.
That's what motivates us all, and we want to be great, and that's just proven to everybody that we are great. If we can get that 11-win season.
I'm ready to get that 11th win, and I'm just proud to say I was able to be part of that team. I was able to be part of that team.
BYU is giving UAB a ton of respect, especially seeing how they've basically risen from the dead. UAB cut football altogether 5 years ago, but since coming back, they've won 42 games and qualified for bowl games every year.
When something's taken away from you, and then you have another chance at it, they're going to do it right. And that coaching staff, the players, the way they work together, the toughness that they bring to the field, you can just see it. And I don't think there's ever a threat of them losing football ever again.
And there's no worry about any distractions surrounding Kalani Sitake now that his contract extension is done.
Kalani he's done a great job. He hasn't even mentioned anything going on because he's kept so much focus on this game, because that's just the type of man he is investing everything he has in us as players and making sure he prepares us to play the best we can. So regardless of all that's been going on in the media surrounding all of, the talk about him and what could potentially happen.
I would argue right now that we have, some of the most momentum out of any team in the country, just what's been done here this season and last season. And then, in the background with Kalani's extension, the Big 12, some momentum with recruiting and stuff like that. I would say that, this program is really rolling right now.
They really are, and I think they have plenty of motivation going into this game, and they have too much talent not to get the job done. As long as they don't turn the ball over, 4 or 5 times, I think they should be able to handle UAB.
Turnovers might be an issue because the weather's supposed to be bad.
Right.
Rain is in the forecast for Shreveport, so they're talking about ball control, and they've got to keep an eye on that. I wonder how motivated BYU actually is, because it's a situation where they expected a better bowl game, kind of like Ohio State in the Rose Bowl against Utah. They expected a better bowl game, and they may not come ready to play as they could. Hopefully, Kalani Sitake can get them ready to go.
And I'll tell you what, UAB is not going to be intimidated. They played Georgia this year. They lost 56-7, but they played Georgia. They almost beat Texas San Antonio when they were a top 15 team. They got a 1,000-yard rusher in Dwayne McBride, so don't think BYU is just going to go in there and coast on talent. They're going to have to jump out to an early lead, and if they do, I think BYU is going to run away with it.
They've got to keep the ball and make the most of their opportunities, because UAB is one of those teams that just runs the clock and ball control offense, and so BYU may not get many chances to score, so they need to take advantage of all the chances that they get.
All right, well, it has been a long but very exciting and successful season for BYU.
Yeah, and how did we get to this point? Let's take a look back at the 2021 season for the BYU Cougars. In the season opener against Arizona down in Las Vegas, Jaron Hall threw 2 touchdown passes to Neil Powell, while Tyler Algier ran for 94 yards and a touchdown, as the Cougars kicked off the season with a 24-16 victory over the Wildcats.
The next week was all about ending the streak. BYU beat Utah for the first time since 2009, ending a 9-game skid to their rivals. Hall threw for 3 touchdowns while the defense shut the Utes down, and the fans stormed the field celebrating a 26-17 victory.
Yeah, being on the field with the fans, who've been waiting for X amount of years to enjoy that, it was it's priceless. It was a surreal moment, and I'm so happy for each and every one of them.
The Cougars then improved to 3-0 against 19th-ranked Arizona State. Hall threw 2 more touchdown passes, both to Isaac Rex. But the biggest play came when Hall got picked off by Merlin Robinson, and Tyler Algier reverted back to his linebacker days, tracking him down and forcing a fumble, preserving a 27-17 victory.
Yeah, it literally came out of nowhere. I was like, shoot, let me try something new, and then it ended up working. So grateful it did.
Tyler, of course, all-out effort makes it one of the greatest plays I've ever seen.
Moving up to number 15 in the rankings, BYU then beat South Florida as Baylor Romney, filling in for the injured Hall, threw 3 touchdown passes. Algier ran for 2 more as the Cougars improved to 4-0 with a 35-27 win.
BYU then played its first true road game at Utah State, and Algier ran wild against the Aggies, breaking loose for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Cougars brought home the Wagon Wheel Trophy, 34-20.
I'm exhausted. But it was a great team win. It was a great win. Great win. Glad we're 5-0, but literally on to the next.
After cracking the top 10, BYU suffered its most disappointing loss of the season as 2-3 Boise State came into LaVell Edwards Stadium and forced 4 turnovers in handing the Cougars its first defeat of the season, 26-17.
The Cougars then dropped their second straight game to eventual Big 12 champion Baylor. Despite Hall accounting for 367 yards and 2 touchdowns, the Bears racked up 303 yards on the ground as the Cougars fell to 5-2, 35-24.
But BYU bounced back the following week with its 4th win over a Pac-12 team, taking down Washington State 21-19. Algier had another huge game, grinding out 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, while the defense stuffed a late 2-point conversion to win it.
In these tight games, it comes down to guys just making one play more and everyone just depending on each other. But we had to rally and try to find a way to make a play on the 2-point conversion.
Then former BYU head coach Bronco Mendenhall came to town with Virginia, and we saw the highest scoring game in LaVell Edwards Stadium history. An astounding 115 points were scored. Algier tied a school record with 5 touchdown runs. The Cougars piled up a jaw-dropping 734 yards in a 66-49 victory over the Cavaliers.
As a receiver and an offensive player, these are the ones you dream of going out there and every time that you just expect to score.
The offensive onslaught continued against Idaho State. Hall threw 4 more touchdowns while the special teams got in on the fun with a blocked punt. The Cougars were up 42-7 at the half and cruised to a 59-14 win.
Then after the bye week, BYU went on the road at Georgia Southern, and in a somewhat lackluster performance, the Cougars got the job done as Puka Nacua had 2 more touchdown catches, and the Cougars improved to 9-2.
And in the season finale, BYU made it a perfect 5-0 against the Pac-12 with a thrilling 35-31 win over USC. After blowing a 15-point second-half lead, Jackson McChesney scored the game-winning touchdown in the 4th quarter as BYU capped a 10-2 regular season. What a season it has been. All right, so that's BYU. Coming up after the break, we're going to switch gears and talk Utah State.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back at what has been an incredible turnaround season up in Logan. Stick around, everybody.